Gamertag Radio presents E3 coverage. Hosts Danny Pena, Paris Lilly, and Peter Toledo are direct from the convention center floor.
My name is Mark Coates. I'm an executive producer with Microsoft Studios. And yeah, we're here showing Ori and the Will of the Wisps for the first time. People get hands-on gameplay.
So tell us the difference. Can I play a little bit on the demo that you guys have here? It was like a couple of changes you guys made compared to the first one. Can you tell us a little bit about that, the changes you guys made?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, hopefully you see a lot of similarities to the first game and even taking it over the top even more with the beautiful graphics, the stylized graphics that it's so well known for.
Yeah.
So we're bringing that back and also a touching story and an incredible music. We have the same composer, Gareth Coker, that's working on the music as well. Mm-hmm. But really what we're super excited to be talking about here at the show are some of the new mechanics, some of the new gameplay mechanics that we're introducing into the game. So
yeah, tell us a little about that.
Yeah, what we've really done is we've completely changed the combat system. So if you remember in the original game, it was really very cool. You had sign, you had single attacks that were kind of based upon proximity that you could power up. Mm-hmm. This time around, we're giving the player a lot more choice, a lot more agency to choose from different types of attacks. So you'll see Ori can wield this spirit sword, this spirit hammer, this bow and arrow. And this basically creates opportunities to have more specific, intentional encounters with enemies, and to employ a little bit more, I guess, specific tactics when you're approaching and trying to defeat the different enemies in the game. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah, I know the game was announced, was it last year or 2 years ago? I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, last year, yeah.
The crowd reaction was awesome, by the way, because I think the first one surprised a lot of people, man.
Absolutely.
And I feel like this game could also surprise us again, you know? So I know you don't want to say much about the story, but is this a sequel to the first one, or this is a prequel, or what?
Oh, yeah. So I can say a little bit, but, you know, we're not talking really in detailed way about the story, you know? We're trying to hold some of that magic back.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, just like the first one, you'll be taking on a very emotional tale as the player. And this is really where Ori will discover his true destiny. But it is a sequel to the original game.
Okay.
So it takes place after the events of the first game. And we introduce a whole new cast of characters through new characters that you play with, as well as characters like NPC characters that you'll run into the world, which can basically help you on your quests.
And I know this is the first time that the game is going to be in 4K, right? Because the first one, is it in 4K now? Or like the update came out after, right?
Yep, so that's right.
How was that, adding 4K finally to the game at launch instead of wait for the patch and all that stuff? So
well, it's great. You know, we're building the game on Unity again, and because we built a great suite of technology with the first game, we were able to leverage a lot of that. So when we came out with the definitive edition, we made the option so you could play in 4K, and this game will be native 4K from the beginning. So sure, there were technical challenges along the way, but we'll hope you agree that what you see on the stage here today is just it's proof that we're able to deliver it at that high quality that everybody wants.
The quality is amazing. It's freaking awesome, I think.
Yeah.
When the game actually is going to come out? Is this going to be this year or what?
It's coming out in 2019.
2019,
So we announced that as part of the keynote today. It sounded like you had a good chance to see the briefing earlier today and everything. So at the end of that, of our trailer that we debuted, which featured a lot of gameplay that we're also showing in the demo here, we announced that we're coming out in 2019.
Was there any games that inspired you to create this game, Ori?
Yeah, so we work with Moon Studios as our development partner, and they're really the true creative, genius behind the game. And working with Microsoft, we sort of provide editorial support for them and feedback, and a lot of publishing support as well. So I know, having worked closely with Moon Studios for 5 years now, I guess it is, that they're very much inspired by a lot of the early Disney films when it comes to animation and telling a very compelling narrative. And as far as games are concerned, they've been inspired by a lot of some of the best Metroidvania games that have ever been built. And their aspiration and ours was to create a game that could be held in similar high regard to titles that you are familiar with from back in the day, like Castlevania, Metroid, for example.
Yeah, so for those that never played the first game and they decide to play the second game, do they actually have to play the first one to really understand about the character and the story? And
No, not really. I mean, if you play the first game, you will get benefit from that because you'll be aware of the story from the first game and you will have already established connection with some of the key characters that are also in the second game. But the second game, it stands alone as its own experience, building upon some of those characters, but delving into some of the stories around those characters in a new way. And like I said before, we're introducing an entirely new array of other NPC characters that you can interact with. And in the second game, in Will of the Wisps, you can there's a whole quest system. So yes, you will still be working, retraversing areas in the game, like you would expect from a Metroidvania. But we also enable the player to kind of get off the beaten track, to do optional side quests and discover and explore more about the world that they're in. That's what we found from the first game was people loved the world so much, they just wanted to spend time in it. And so we're basically creating new game systems that enable people to really explore every nook and cranny of the world.
Well, I just want to say I'm excited for the game.
Right on.
I can't wait to play it finally in 2019. So, but thanks for the interview, though, man.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, very nice to meet you.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yep.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.